Welcome to our first official mock draft 1.0 Tennessee Titans edition. We're going 1 through 7. I know the Titans don't have a 7th round pick yet, but I'm going to be Jon Robinson today. We're going to bring in Coach Vrabel, which is going to be Titans Rossi, and we are going to pound for pound go through this NFL draft with you guys to critique us along the way. We both got our motives. We both got our expectations, what we're thinking for the Titans. But at the end of the day, we care what you care about. So definitely leave comments and let us know how we're doing. Let us know who you would draft, why you would draft certain people, who you're high on, who you're not as high on, and we'll definitely dive in and get to it. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying the last 2 quarterback NFL profiles. Put a lot into those for you guys. I even got a little film session, trying to be like No Flags Film a little bit. Nowhere near as good as him, but like I said, he puts in so much dedication work. You definitely want to go check him out. He really is the professional when it comes to breaking down that kind of film. So definitely check him out. I'm just giving you a little bit of a taste of what I can do. So again, expect more of those throughout the week. Quarterbacks first, just throwing it out there, and then I'll move on to different position groups. As far as a giveaway, I posted that on Twitter and Facebook. You will at some point know a little bit what to expect. We will be having a giveaway here and starting in April, so definitely want to stay tuned for that. Don't forget to tighten up that like button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. We'd love to have you. And I don't see anybody in the chat as far as leaving comments. Is there something wrong maybe on my end? I don't know. Maybe I messed up. But anyways, there's all the chats. Awesome. We're good to go. So let's dive into it. Coming up next, our first NFL mock draft 1.0 Tennessee Titans edition. Let's get it. So welcome again to Titan Upload Live. Here we go. Let's dive into this. I brought my buddy from the Titan Upload Network. I brought in Titans Rossi. Let's bring him in right now. You can follow him at Titans Rossi on Twitter, and you can, which is taken off, by the way. He's got some stories to share with you since we've talked to Titans Rossi lately. Some NFL football player retweeted his stuff, so got a lot of views as well on some certain things. And then Titans Rossi, obviously on YouTube, he's been killing it over there. Titans Rossi, man, what's going on? Glad to have you, buddy.
Yeah, it's good to be here, man. It's been a little while since we've done a show together, and I'm excited for tonight, man. I'm excited to be Mike Vrabel. You know, I'm not as probably not as strong as Vrabel, and I can't hit like him, but you know, maybe I can make some picks like him. So,
hey, it's all we can do tonight, buddy. We're gonna try our best. So if you haven't been with us last year, I mean, everybody tries to do their mocks, and there's some crazy mocks out there where Tennessee Titans are being mocked as a middle linebacker. I don't know if you've seen that, Rossi, but it's kind of crazy. That's the one position I feel confident in. I don't think would go there in round 1. I have a little bit of a different take. You'll get a little bit of flavor of that tonight. We'll see what you guys feel about it or not. But I will tell you, I think this, and we'll get into this real quick with the Titans' needs and the amount of draft picks we have. But Rossi, like, I feel, just to start off the show by getting a little bit into the background before we get to some of these comments, I don't really have a direction I am for sure the Titans are going to go. Like, I have a general understanding that we need help at the offensive line. We could use another receiver. We could use a tight end, possibly use someone in the secondary. But other than that, I mean, I have no idea. I mean, Jon Robinson's been throwing a lot of curveballs our way over the last couple of years. What's your initial expectations, or what you're expecting from this Titans team coming into the draft at the end of April?
I mean, I'm really expecting them to go offensive line. Like that's what I've kind of said the whole time. I just don't feel like at this point you have any other choice. You know what I mean? We really need a guard unless we plan on starting the Jamarcus Jones, I think's his name.
Yeah, from Seattle.
And then, you know, with Quisenberry, you know, I just feel like unless they pick somebody up, we're going to have to go offensive line.
Yeah, man, something's wrong with my comment window. Offensive line seems to be If I had to guess, I mean, I think offensive line would be the expectation. The only thing I'm not sure on this draft, and Broshmo, if you haven't followed him, draft_Brian as well. But Broshmo is very high on this draft when it comes to offensive linemen. And I wonder if Jon Robinson's going to value some of those different positions in a different way, knowing that the offensive line there's some pretty good talent out there. And there are a couple needs on this team. Let's not sugarcoat and act like everything's okay. I mean, the offensive line, we don't know who's playing left guard. We don't know who's playing right tackle. And we're lucky to get Ben Jones back. We're hoping Nate Davis comes back to what he used to be before last season, which he wasn't great, but the year before he was getting really good. And then we know Taylor Lewan, when he's healthy, he's a really good left tackle. Other than that, I mean, we don't know who's our swing tackle anymore. We don't know who solid bat. We don't know what they're doing radons. I mean, it's just a crapshoot when it comes to the offensive line. And I'm interested with your take as far as with Derrick Henry being so valuable to this football team and what we do well and run the football and keeping Tannehill. It was like sacked 47 times last year. I mean, I don't think you can mess around with that offensive line. If there's a guy in the draft that you think can help solidify it, I think you got to take him.
Yeah, I do too, man. I think at the point they're at, I mean, things could always change. You know what I mean? They could always pick up somebody. I don't really know who's left in free agency or anything. So, I mean, I think there's some pretty big guys still left, but yeah, I just think they're going to have to make a move. And if draft Brian is high on these offensive linemen, then, you know, maybe that's something we do need to pursue.
Hooper and trading for Robert Woods. I know he was injured last year. Those definitely help give Robinson more flexibility. And then I also have in the back end, just in case the whole cornerback does. I mean, you got rid of Janoris Jenkins. You lost the veterans there, Jack Rabbit. You're putting a lot on Caleb Farley that he's going to be fine. You still have Elijah Molden in the slot. He did well, but he's coming back to his second year. And sometimes guys' second year, they take off or they kind of don't. You know, they have the wonderful first year. The second year is not as good. And we look at Vince Young. And then you also have the whole like Cruikshank thing at the back end that they have not re-signed. So are there any other needs? I mean, Randy Bullock, I'm assuming kicker's covered now. Anything else that you think the Titans should be wary of and put in consideration?
You know, I am worried about Farley in that position. You know, I guess it's kind of a wait and see with him. I mean, what are they going to do at cornerback? You know, are they going to bring in another veteran? But yeah, I mean, all the ones you mentioned that I'd say are definitely needs for us. I really hope they don't go linebacker in the first round. There's been a kind of a joke out there about that. So hopefully they don't make some. It seems like they always make a pick here and there where you're just, you know, like the Dez pick last year and trading away a pick, and it's like, you know, there's always like one. It seems like Monty Rice might turn out, but yeah. As far as the needs, I think you pretty much got them all there.
Okay, so let's dive into this. Let's enter the war room, buddy. So here we go. We're in the war room. So we got @TitanUpload on Twitter, and then I put Titans Rossi YouTube channel on there. So we're going to go through this. Again, excited about your opportunity in the chat to get involved in this. Now, I want to do this, okay? And I don't know the exact situation with it because, like I said, the Upload family is expecting baby number 4 at the end of the month. And honestly, I could see baby number 4 coming on NFL draft weekend. So, I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not sure. I'll do what I can. But like I said, I mean, I can't control that stuff. So what I'd love to do, and I'm sure Rossi, you know, and I hope a lot of the guys that we have on this channel would love to take part in this as well. It would be a lot of fun. And I wanted to do this last year, but I'm really going to try to do it this year. I want all of you to be involved in a full 7-round draft, but you guys would represent different teams. I mean, that's my hope. That would be a lot of fun just to do it one night. You know, maybe I get the Cleveland Browns. I'm not going to say I take the Titans, and then one of you get the Titans, do it randomly. You don't have to necessarily have a webcam or a camera. You could have an audio. You could be in the chat giving it's totally up to you with how you want to do it. If you want to put your face on the screen, we could work it out. That's the expectation, or that's what I'm thinking. That would be a lot of fun to have a full Titan Upload Network community. We'll get James in there, buddy. But we'll get the whole crew together, and then we'll allow you guys, if you're interested, and I'll put more details on that as we get closer. So if you're not interested in that, that's cool. I just wanted to float it out there. We used to do you guys were involved in the rankings for the power poll, and some people really got into that, some people didn't. So we'll definitely leave it up to you. So all right, so the Titans got picked 26. I don't think we're trading up. Okay, now we'll go a little bit slow, and Rossi, you could be trying to get me to trade up or something like that. I'm telling you right now, and I want your expertise on this as well. Do you think the Titans will take a quarterback in round 1?
It wouldn't surprise me. It just depends on if the right guy is there. But who is the right guy for Jon Robinson? I think that would be a Jon Robinson move. I definitely don't think Vrabel is going to want to pick a quarterback. I just don't see him wanting to do that. So it could be, it just depends on who would be the quarterback you would take. Is there one quarterback you would take if he was available at that spot? Any quarterback.
Well, I'm glad you asked, because if you would have asked me a couple weeks ago, I would have just said Ritter, because that's all I've been hearing about from the Titans, right? I mean, I've heard a lot of within that they're very interested in this guy, and he fits the system, and he's the kind of quarterback that Jon Robinson and Vrabel adore and love and would love to have a part of this team. But when I broke all the quarterbacks, I broke 7 of them down. I mean, they all got flaws, and there's a lot of people that are very high on, like Willis, for example. I mean, I'm sorry, but the Titans are really good right now. And there's so many guys that we're putting up there because of the athleticism, because of what they could be. And we have no idea what they're going to be. All I've seen is some tape on Willis. It's not good. It's not like, I see the arm strength. I saw the pro day. That was phenomenal. Then I saw Ritter go out the very next day and run around the pocket and make another crazy throw. So again, I think a lot of these quarterbacks have a lot of good things going for them, but I also think the quarterback crop is weak, and that's why you see some mocks that don't have quarterbacks even drafted at all in the first round. I think push come to shove, there will be some quarterbacks. But I just had to throw it out there because I think where the Titans are at 26, with that 5th-year option I know I keep talking about, it's a perfect spot to draft a quarterback of the future. We've seen quarterbacks. I want to say Aaron Rodgers went around that time a long time ago. And there's been a lot of, the past draft, I think the Packers, a couple, took the Jordan Love kid or whatever, a couple drafts ago later on at this spot. We've seen Lamar Jackson go at the end of the round where the Ravens traded up. So I think it's a twofold thing. It's a situation where the Titans have to take everything in account. And if they fall in love with a guy, the rumor was a few years ago they fell in love with Drew Lock, saying maybe they take him. But they're also in a great spot for someone to come up and trade up. And I think that's also something that the Titans might be able to take advantage of. So again, let's kind of get in this and we'll see. But again, we'll see how this all plays out. But I just had to throw that and float that in your ear because you never know with quarterback, you never know with quarterback. All right. So let's start this draft up. Here we go. We're not trading with the Jaguars. I think you can see who's being taken. I'll try to stop it as we go to. It's going a little bit too fast. I'll stop it at 10. So I should say 9. So those are the first people that have went. I think you guys can see. So as far as what we're looking at, a wide receiver's off the table. We have no quarterbacks that have officially went. We do see the cornerback go. There's a couple tackles that have been picked. But as of right now, I think we're doing okay. A couple edge rushers off the board. And if you're a Titans fan, which many of you are, and you don't want to draft a quarterback, then you need these quarterbacks to start coming off the board early. Then you don't have to worry about it. I think that's something we have to, look at, because if none of these quarterbacks go off the board, it's going to definitely not bring players back to us that are good. Obviously, these players are going to come off the board, but the more quarterbacks that go, you're getting a better player if you're drafting a non-quarterback. So just want to throw that one out there too. So let's keep going with are you shocked with anything, Rossi?
And I'm looking on my YouTube. It's
Sorry,
about
buddy.
No, it's fine. I can see it. It's about 15 seconds behind, but I can see the picks. It's surprising that Garrett Wilson, was he the first receiver taken?
He was. And it just depends.
Interesting.
You got to remember, and people, I don't know if they comment on this all the time when you guys watch mock drafts, but we are using the Pro Football Focus.
Yeah.
So they are heavily weighted towards Pro Football Focus's ranking. There's a lot of smoke with the Steelers that have fallen in love and have been in love with Desmond Ridder. Okay? They've been out to eat with him. I thought Tomlin went out to eat with him possibly. There's a lot of smoke. I'm not saying it's positive. Usually you wouldn't want to let everyone know who you're thinking of. But the Steelers could totally turn this draft if they do take a quarterback, especially the one that maybe the Titans were thinking about. So let's go up. So the first domino to fall, I think some of you might have been hopeful for, was Williams from Alabama. Now, Rossi, what's your feeling on drafting another injured player? I want to get this in there. You guys can comment on this as well. Well, J-Rob's taken a lot of heat for taking injured guys over the years. Last year he took Farley. Farley fell to him because he was injured. Are you doing the same thing in this year's draft? Would you take a guy like Williams coming off an ACL?
Man, I as much as I would love to take Williams just because he's an incredible talent. I don't want to. I personally don't want to. A lot of people would. And you guys in the chat, you might really want him too, but I don't want to take another injured player like that. I don't want to, especially with what happened last season, man, with all the injuries, like that's the last thing we need right now,
Yeah.
But he's an incredible player,
Yeah, there is some skepticism there for some scouts, but overall, I mean, I saw it. I didn't know he used to play at Ohio State, and he wasn't even like a top 3 guy at Ohio State. Then moved to I had no idea about that, but apparently some people aren't even as sold on him. But I thought watching Alabama this year, he was obviously pretty good. Timothy Gibson, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. So, yeah, comment. Would you take an injured player this year? Paulie says, no injury prone. Holly says it depends on the injury. Of course, it's easy for Holly's point because she's a Kansas City Chiefs fan, and the Chiefs are pretty much, I guess wide receiver would be a concern for the Chiefs right now because they lost Tyreek. So how shocked were you that they traded Tyreek to the Dolphins?
I was pretty shocked about it. I don't think their offense is going to be the same, man. It's not going to be the same. The guys, he does so much, and he's not just one of those type of receivers that are, an outside guy that just kind of one thing. The guy can pretty much do it all, short routes, medium routes, long routes. That's taken a lot away, from their offense. It'll be Juju Smith is not going to make up for that, by any stretch. It'll be interesting to see. I think they'll get somebody, but it'll be interesting to see.
All right, so a lot of people have went. So we lost Williams. A lot of you rooting for the wide receiver. Olave went. Some people are very high on Drake London. Pro Football Focus is pretty high on him, I think, as well. All right, so we're on the clock. Stupid Bills took a guy I was considering in Burks. All right. The Cardinals took the center that people have us linked to from Iowa, the Linderbaum guy. Although I haven't heard great things on him. He's good, but I don't know if he's as good as people are thinking he's going to be. There goes your guy to the Patriots. How about that? Didn't you guys say the Penning guy from Northern Iowa?
Yeah.
Heard he's a mauler. Really good
I
run
like
blocker.
Penning, man.
Yep, physical. He's going to be a Patriot. And then the Steelers did not take quarterback. So this leads us to where we're at. Initial thoughts on what we can do here. I'll get you receivers because I think that's where most people want to go. So Sky Moore is available. I don't know. Does Sky Moore do anything for you?
I mean, he's a good player. I've seen a lot of film from him. I like him. You know, I don't think it would be a wrong pick. You know,
Yeah.
It's just so. I mean, who's left at tackle?
Good point. Because I don't see a receiver, and I don't mean to get
an interior offensive line like guard.
Yeah. So we'll cross receiver off unless we're taking more.
I don't want to take more personally. I mean, depending on who's left off, you know, on the interior or tackle position.
Perfect. So let's get rid of that. Well, first let's go quarterback. My guy's there, Desmond Ridder. So we could take him.
We could take him. I mean, you're J-Rob, so I mean, you're gonna be the QB guy. Like I'm probably gonna.
How do you really think they feel? I don't mean to. We'll speed this up. How do you think they really feel about Ryan Tannehill? Like, I don't really know how they feel about Ryan Tannehill. There's been some stuff floated around this draft about quarterback. But that's for the future. That's for the next couple years. That's not for this year. But, man, I think there was a little bit more smoke than people thought with the Aaron Rodgers thing.
Yeah, I do too, man. I think this is a prove it year. I think this is his last year with us. I mean, unless he just kills it this year and he goes back to where he was a couple years ago, I just think that this is a prove it year for him. I just don't know are these quarterbacks good enough to waste a first round pick if you have a roster that potentially this roster right now potentially with a few pieces could be better than last year's.
Yep.
You know, with a couple pieces, and these pieces could be right from this draft here. So you're kind of, if you pick a quarterback, you're kind of playing Russian roulette a little bit, you know, like it's you're wasting a potential guy who could help you get to the Super Bowl.
We're getting super chats to tell us not to pick a quarterback.
Oh,
I'm just telling you. You guys can get mad at me or get upset, but
what's the chat saying? What's the overall?
I mean, they're all over the place.
Important pick.
We got people all over. We got Zion would be a good pick. We have Zion again, Zion. So maybe a lot more Zion than I thought. They're saying not Raymond. Charles is saying Dotson. Rainman for Sauce would take him. Some of them are saying you should take a quarterback if he's there. Carson Strong. Donovan, I don't know, man. I mean, I've done my research. He did beat out the Malik guy.
They compared him to Mariota, though.
Who's that?
I've heard comparisons to Mariota.
Oh, I've heard Ridder compared to Mariota.
Ridder, I'm sorry. I thought you meant Ridder. I apologize. Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, Van Purick, he's usually spot on, man, with his picks. He's saying he could play right tackle, left tackle. So take him. But
who is that?
The guy from Central Michigan, the big mauler.
Man, a lot of people like tough. Got to make a pick, but man, I'm thinking we need to one of these offensive linemen. I just think that you have to. I don't know.
So here's what we're doing, okay? You can't trade unless you got trade partners. You guys realize this, right? You just can't trade. I hear that all the time. Drives me crazy. Can't just do it. But I do have 2 offers. So I'm going to have to look at these offers. So I got one from the Colts, which I don't like the Colts one, and I don't like New Orleans. So I'm not getting any help. I'm not moving all the way back. The live show, the ones I've had a plan. And my plan was to trade out. And I still was able to get you guys a very good offensive lineman. But unfortunately, the cards aren't always going to play the way we think they're going to play. So one more thing real quick. Is there a good quality tight end available? No, not for where we're at. So that's off the board. Finally, cornerback. I mean, I like this kid from Florida. He can do a lot, but I don't know if I'm going to draft him right now as you know, as much as I would like a nice solid corner to go with my group. I feel like we're good there. So I'm done stalling. I should put a time limit.
This is tough.
It's tough. So I'm going to tell you what I think the Titans would do, and then I'm going to do what I would do. So I think the Titans, because of their connection with Boston College, would take Zion Johnson if he's there. Okay. And I've heard a lot of good things if he's there, okay? But, again, you mentioned guard. Think we can plug and play Aaron Brewer at guard if we need to, or go out and get some other guard in free agency the best we can. Yep. I'm going to go with him.
Okay.
I'm
good with that.
See, I wanted to go with Zion because I think that's what the Titans would do. But I'm going to blame you, Rossi, because you talked me out of it because you made a really good point. And here's was the selling point why I went with the kid from Central Michigan. I feel like if I go with the guy from Central Michigan, I can always plug Aaron Brewer at left guard. Okay? Brewer does some good things, by the way. So this guy, Titan Upload, is not going to be too hard on Brewer like some of y'all. Don't put him at center and do shotgun right away like they did to him last year, but you get my point. Here's the deciding factor. I got twice the time now, or twice the amount to get a right tackle out of this draft. So I get the Raymond guy. He's a physical guy. He's very good with the run blocking. He's going to help with Derrick Henry. Those are great things. I would think he's ready to go. I mean, I don't think he's going to need a bunch of time to develop. If something would happen there, I still got Radens as a possibility at right tackle. But now I shift. Now I put Radens at left guard, and I have him fight it out with Aaron Brewer. If neither one of those dudes are going anywhere, maybe I try to trade Radens later on and get something worth something, or I go out and then go out in the free agency market. What's left to plug the left guard in? But I got to get my right tackle down. And this is my right tackle for the future. We've struck out, dude, so many times with right tackle, it seems like. I don't have a lot of confidence in the CMU guy just for that fact. But I don't see anybody else worthy of this pick. Again, you guys can get mad at me. I tried to trade out.
There's a tight end I really want in this draft. And if he's possibly available in like the fifth round,
yep.
Cole Turner out of Nevada.
Okay.
I've watched a lot of film on him. I don't know why I like him so much, but he's an incredible blocker. He can catch the ball. They actually said he used to play some tackle before.
Okay.
But I just really like him. Just keep that in the back of your mind. Like somebody maybe I don't know if he'll fall to the fifth round or whatever, but just kind of a guy to keep in the back of your mind.
No, Nick says it's Trey McBride. I wanted to trade up for him. Unfortunately, no one would trade with me to move out, and I wasn't going to move all the way back to 49. Now I'm thinking maybe I should have done it. But again, the Saints in that scenario didn't really have any second or third round picks to offer me, so I would have had to really move back. So anyways, so this is kind of what we're stuck with. There's not a whole lot of options. Now, some people think we'll be taking a linebacker, but I'm not going to go that route just yet. Some people like best available. We can't take another tackle, can we?
No, I don't think so.
I've heard the guy from Arizona State's not bad. See, if I would have went with my gut feeling, I could have had the quarterback, and then there's my tackle. What about a center?
I mean, yeah.
Ben Jones isn't going to be here next year.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. We could definitely use the center if there's a good one left.
See, 76.6. That's not terrible for a guy being in the third round. His overall grade is 81.7.
Yeah.
Last year he was a 76.4, and the year before that is 67.7. So he's grown. I like that. This year he had over 1,100 yards. He had 11 touchdowns. And he had 80 receptions.
What does it tell his 40 time?
I knew you were going to ask me that.
4.52. That's what I'm seeing.
Well, I can give you a little. So 84 yards came in the screen game. 254 yards came out of the slot, so he can play slot.
Oh.
And then his deep yards were 444, so he can go deep with you as well. As far as his 40 time, I can't find that. If anybody can in the chat.
On Draft Buzz, it says 4.52.
So he's not that fast.
He's not. But, I mean, at the position we need him at, I mean, we just need him to be able to get open and get separation.
Donovan makes a good point. Does he return kicks?
I was trying to read his profile a little bit on the Draft Buzz site. Let's see. I don't see anything about him being a returner.
Telling you what, they got him as a long strider who can beat you deep. Tremendous feet and balance. We love our ladder drills, right? Don't we love the
Oh, we love it.
The ladder drills. I mean, he does that well.
I could see them going with this guy.
Okay. Well, you guys have put me
I don't
on the
think
spot.
they're going.
We got to go. What I would do, gosh darn it, I'm like trying to play two hats here. What I would do is I would take the center from Arizona State. That's what I would do. But you guys aren't going to like that. So I'm trying to put us all here as a decent. Now, we could trade out of here as a possibility as well. But you guys all said we need a wide receiver. So I can give you a wide receiver who can do many different things. It's not super fast, but within the terms of the game is somewhat fast. Can be inconsistent at times. I mean, that's going to come with a third-round guy you're taking. But I'm taking Romeo. So I got you a receiver at least. I mean, Vrabel, you could do some things with the kid. All right?
I like Romeo. I like his size, I'm cool with Romeo.
All right. You guys almost talked me into taking a corner here. So we're on the board again. We need a tight end bad. From Steve says, "Hey, J-Rob, use your call a friend and get Broshmo on the phone." we will for Mock 2.0. This has been going terrible. I was so excited, you guys, for this mock draft. But this is like real life stuff. Like one pick can screw it all up. Sauce, thanks for the super chat. Puts, can you check on Christian Watson? Is he gone?
I'm pretty sure he's gone. I think he went in like probably the second or third.
Yeah.
Mid-third.
How about
I don't think it's a bad draft.
What about defense? Let's go defense. When all else fails, heck, let's go defense. Obviously, the offensive guys for us aren't there right now. So let's see what we can do on our end. Got 128 of you in the house. Don't forget to tighten up that like button or like the like button, whatever you want to call it. And subscribe if you haven't subscribed. We'd love to have you. We're trying to approach 10,000, which is still crazy to even say that out loud. And then don't forget to go follow Titans Rossi. Again, I'll put him on the screen. You can follow him at Titans Rossi on Twitter and Titans Rossi on YouTube. But thanks again so much, Titans Rossi, for joining us. This is fun. It's not fun as far as how the draft has worked itself out. This is a pretty epic failure, but we'll see how it all plays out here in the end. The center from Nebraska. Actually, they really like the center. I think they like the guy from Illinois, but he's really far down the list. He might be a late guy that they try to bring in. So the Juergens guy, 6'3", 290. Sophomore, 22. Had a really good grade against Oklahoma, Purdue, Northwestern. 65 against Ohio State, 69 against Illinois. Good run blocking score, pretty good pass blocking score. I'm rolling the dice. I'm going with him.
Who is that you're talking about?
I took the center from Nebraska. Now we're covered next
him.
year for Ben Jones.
Cam Jurgens, I like him.
So
I think that's a good pick.
It's a gut feeling there.
Yeah.
So we're already on the clock again. Somebody wants to trade with us, the Bills. What would they give us? Anything good? Give us 203. All right, I'm gonna do it because I need a 7th rounder for next year. I get another pick right now. Good. So we made our first trade. So that's what we get. We gave up 143, get 168, we get 203, and then we get that 7th rounder for next year. That would give us 6 picks in next year's draft, which we know Robinson loves his ammo. So don't get mad at me. Get mad at Jon Robinson. All right, we're off and we're running again. We are in round 5, by the way. So hopefully I didn't tick many of you guys off.
I don't think a lot of people are too happy with our draft so far. But
Sauce is not on board with the quarterback, Rossi. He says this is not the guy we need. Al says, what about an edge rusher? A lot of people want Lindstrom. See, with logos. We got USC did very well against. So, I mean, it's there. He was 2nd in tight ends with deep catches. He was 7th in deep yards. His receiving grade is pretty much off the charts. His run block grade is really, really good. And he has just sold me, Rossi, to make him a pick. I'm going with him.
Who is it?
The D's Jr. guy from San Jose State, tight end.
Oh, yeah.
But here's the deal. He's got a really good run block grade, and he can catch and he can go down the field, a vertical threat. So I get it. But the competition isn't like awful compared to some of these other guys we take. So he played 12 games last year. Total snaps. What do we got? Pass snaps, 389. He lined up in the slot 219 times. Do a Raiders mock draft. Maybe we could screw that up too. Austin Allen from Nebraska, he says. Is this guy still available?
I mean, honestly, I like our draft so far.
What's that?
I like our draft so far. I know it's not like, the real snazzy draft or anything, but I like it, man. I think we got need positions because if we don't trade, if we don't trade down in the first round in the real draft, then we're kind of left with not having a 2nd round pick is tough,
Yeah.
I think we've done all right personally, but that's just me.
So let's run them down as we're wrapping it up. We'll be done. We'll try to get this done in like 10 minutes. All right. So we got Raymond, the tackle from Central Michigan. We took him at pick 26. We tried to trade out. I wanted to take Ritter, the quarterback, but you guys threw a fit. You guys didn't like that, so we didn't do that. I'm kidding. Moving on down the line, round 3, wherever we're at. Pick 90. We took the Romeo guy from Nevada, so we got a wide receiver. We keep going down the list. Round 4, I thought we picked a guy, didn't we? Yep, the Jurgens, the center. So I got you a center for next year when Ben Jones is gone. Then we traded with the Bills. So we got an extra pick for next year, and then we got another pick down the line. We took D's Jr., which I'll have to find out more about him, but from what I've read and what I've seen, I kind of like him. So is there anybody else out there that you got? Steve, I mean, you got to give me a chance. Here's the thing, Rossi. When the Titans drafted Isaiah Wilson, there were a lot of you that were so excited about that. So excited about, oh my goodness, this guy's going to be great. I remember me and NGB Talk were breaking down the draft, and I took my water bottle and I threw it across the room. I was so upset. But then on the contrary, me and Ken were on here last year, and I was so excited about Caleb Farley. Ken shaking his head, no. And And that didn't work out this year. So, again, I don't think we all know what we think we know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough draft. We'll see how we grade it out, though, Vampiric. Who knows? Maybe we got like all A's. Holly's saying ouch.
How good he was there. But, you know.
Yeah. Well, we haven't drafted defense. There doesn't look like there's a lot of defensive guys. So I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go with the safety. You're probably wondering why I'm drafting the safety. Well, if he can play special teams, he'll be good. All right, we're moving on. We're in round 6. I think we only got a few picks left, right? Oh, we got 3. Dear.
At this point, we're just picking, potential practice squad guys.
So, I don't know. There's the Chandler dude. Worth a shot? Is he any good, or would you take a different one?
Is Haskins there?
Haskins from Michigan?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
I've never heard of him.
What's his name?
Adam Anderson. Maybe he's related to TA. Maybe we should ask TA about him.
I'm sure TA would be cool with it.
If we could get an Anderson jersey out of it, let's do it. This is for you, TA.
Honestly, at this point, I don't know a lot of these
nobody
guys,
knows.
That's
honest. The thing. Like, they can get on me all they want. They don't know.
Yeah.
All right. People said we needed a linebacker. We'll take this linebacker. And then we'll make Matt Moon happy. Shout out to Matt Moon. We got a Moon jersey and we can get an Anderson jersey. That's it. We're done, right? We'll see where we graded. We'll screenshot that thing, and then you can tell me how awful I am. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate it. Good point, Jay Tyrus. It's a good point. So here we go. Man, looking good. So our first pick got an A. Shout out to the GM. All right, second pick, not so much. C- for us on that one. They like the Jurgens pick, so I'll ask draft_Brian about that one. The trade that we made, they thought we could have got a little bit more out of it, but that's fine, whatever. They like the D's Jr. pick, so that's good. And look at that, Sterling Weatherford. We get an A-. A-. Look at this.
Hey, I'm feeling better now.
Oh, Kennedy Brooks, that's on you, man. That's on you.
What was that?
A D.
A D, really? Down. Oh, come on.
Adam Anderson. Look at that one. A-. And then Jeremiah Moon comes in with a B+. Our overall grade.
So the only horrible pick was my running back pick.
Yeah, but it's worth a shot in the dark because that one could end up being like you're going with your gut instinct at that point. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, it's, I don't think you can really grade at that point. I mean, I guess you can, but.
So I'm going to screenshot this. We'll get it blasted all over social media.
So what's the overall grade?
The overall grade was a B-.
That's not bad.
Or I'm sorry,
B+. That's not bad. I mean, considering for their rankings. Now that goes off their rankings. I think it's a pretty decent draft, man. I mean, the wide receiver pick, maybe we could have went elsewhere at wide receiver with that pick, but I like Dobbs, man. I think he'd be a good player. I think he's a guy that could produce this season too.
Yeah. Quarterbacks. But if they don't, the Titans have the cream of the crop at quarterback position and you're left with what we were left with. Maybe they will. Although I would assume they'd probably try to trade out. Any last closing comments, Rossi, before we head out of here?
Yeah, it's hard to, with the Titans, we never know what they're going to do. You know what I mean? It's in the draft and free agency. they're so, close to the hip with everything. It's really hard to determine the mind of J-Rob and what he's going to do. I think that this year's draft, I think that we're so hesitant about who we pick, even on this show, is because we still want to win a Super Bowl.
True.
Like we want to get there this year, and there's a lot of us out there, including me, that still think we're in this window. Now, there's some people out there who think we're rebuilding for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But I think you got a top 5 defense this year, and you're a couple pieces away from being a potential Super Bowl team. Now, a lot of that hinges on Robert Woods. I think Robert Woods is a great pickup. We gave hardly nothing for him. If he can come off that ACL, that's a lot of ifs there. He's a potential better pickup than Julio was in hindsight, So if you're the point I'm trying to make, I'm trying not to be long-winded, is if you want to stay in this Super Bowl window, this draft, you have to make picks that probably people are not going to like, but at the same time, we really need to pick need in this draft as much as possible. And I think that's what J-Rob's going to do.
Yeah. Again, one of you left a comment about trying to trade down. We couldn't trade down. And the only options we were able to trade was with the Colts at 41, and Sky Moore would have been gone, and then at 49. And when we tried to trade with the Saints, they just didn't have a lot of ammo to trade up to where we were. We were kind of stuck, and that's real life stuff. I mean, sure, in a fantasy world, we can just kind of do a Madden thing and just make forced trades on everybody, but we wanted to make it as realistic. This wasn't pre-planned. This was all like what we're just going with, whatever. I think there's some things that I need to work on, obviously. I need to learn more about these guys and get out of the quarterbacks. I've been in the quarterback because that's just the first position I've been breaking down. Then I'll move on to wide receiver. Then I'll move on to tight end. Then I'll move on to the offensive line. But like I said, I don't even know if I'll have enough time within the month to get to defense. How are you doing as far as you trying to do your scouting and all your info on some of these draft guys? Where are you at?
Yeah, there's so many players. It's insane. I've dug into it quite a bit. It's just, getting into like them 4th round guys and stuff like that, it starts kind of, getting all muddled together. But I'd say like the first 3 rounds, I've studied a lot of these guys. I've watched a lot of No Flags film. There's a site that I really like called Draft Buzz that I use a lot. That's kind of what I was following along with a little bit. But yeah, I'm starting to learn them. I think by the time the draft comes, I'll definitely have a better handle on it. At least the needs that we need, position needs.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of where I just started with quarterbacks and then kind of worked my way down. Danko with the super sticker, pair character sliding on the floor on his knees saying goal. So shout out to Danko. Danko's been around a long time, man, and I do appreciate all his support. So shout out to him.
That's awesome.
We'll get to some more quick comments here. Top tier, I was only talking about the real draft. We're going to draft 5D with that schedule. Crunch Time, I think, mentioned that the guy we took in Anderson had some legal issues, but thinks it's still a good value where we got him. So again, I had no idea about any of that kind of stuff, and maybe that's why he's slid down the. And then Mr. Clean Raymond got picked on at the Senior Bowl.
Yeah,
man, I did not realize about the Senior Bowl. Get us involved next time. This was not enjoy. Hey, sorry, Crunch Time. We'll get you more involved. I wanted to make it more about how we were thinking. The next time we'll get more of you guys involved and get more of your input on this draft for sure. But like I said, any closing comments one more time, Ross, before we head off the air?
Yeah, no, thank you for having me on, man. This was awesome. And thank you guys for all your support for my channel as well. Go check out my channel too. It's part of this Titan Upload Network thing we got going on here. And I got a goal. I'm hoping to get to 2K before the start of this upcoming season. So help me get there, guys. Pop over to my channel, give it a follow, subscribe. Check me out on Twitter at Titans Rossi. I'm very active. And like Upload said, it's pretty cool. David Njoku retweeted a tweet of mine about Austin Hooper. That was kind of one of the highlights of my Twitter career so far. But yeah, man, go check me out on YouTube, Twitter, and make sure you like this video. Tighten up the like button before you head on out of here too.
Again, thanks for all you do, buddy, and we'll be in touch. And hey, round 2, maybe we'll knock it out of the park. Get more of these guys involved too. Thanks,
Definitely.
buddy. So again, that was Titans Rossi. It's always a blast when he joins the show. Again, appreciate all you guys and getting all your comments. Like I said, you guys are very knowledgeable, and just appreciate you guys being here. And I do feel bad that I could not get you guys more involved, because like I said, you guys have some of these guys that you've had scouted, and you got them, you got them on lockdown with what you know on some of these guys. So we were just first glance tonight. Me and Rossi were just trying to take care of a lot of this stuff and just kind of throw ideas back and forth off each other. We kind of have an idea what we think the Titans are going to do. Then we also got our ideas what we want them to do. And then obviously you guys also have that. I would say you guys have mentioned top tier, mentioned Hooper was definitely a good pickup, which is going to give the Titans a lot of flexibility here. Trading for Bobby Trees, Robert Woods, was also something that I feel like gives the Titans a little bit of flexibility. That injury is concerning when he'll be ready to go and all that stuff. But for the most part, now you got a number 1 wide receiver, as long as the Jets don't take him. I'm kidding. And then now you have Robert Woods, and then, maybe you find the number 3 in your draft. A lot of this can go whatever. I mean, we have no idea the way it's going to roll and shake. But that's the beauty of being good. Like, you're late in the round 1. I mean, for us, we could be Jaguar fans at this point. So shout out to Jaguar fans, where the draft is everything. And then once the draft is over, it's like hang on for dear life during the season, and they're right back at number 1 the next season. For us, picking at 26, sure, we'd like to pick at 32. But remember, I mean, when you're good, you're always going to be in the 20s. It's just what it is, 20s and 30s. So, again, shout out to all you guys. Thanks again. I wanted to run through the super chats with you guys real quick. Thank everybody who donated tonight. I appreciate it, as you guys always know. Super sticker, I don't want to mess that one up. So here we go. We got Sauce, $1.99. Wanted us to check out Christian Watson. We have a super chat from Steve. Didn't want us to take a quarterback. We listened to Steve. We didn't take a quarterback. Had another one from Steve that says, hey, J-Rob, call your friend Broshmo. Charles got on us a little bit. Well-deserved. He said, Upload, you're scaring me. Holly with the $10 super chat said, just thanks for drafting. Said, tough crowd tonight. Danko with the super sticker. So, again, you guys are awesome. Till next time, don't forget to tighten up. Tighten up that like button if you can on your way out. And hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you. We'll be back this week again with more quarterbacks. We'll fly through those. And then we'll finally move on to wide receivers, which I think you guys care obviously more about. So, till next time, tighten up. Take care, everybody.